Hi, it's Cory.
And Stephanie.
And welcome to Disney Springs. Excited to be back here tonight for another dining review. This time, somewhere we've never been before, always wanted to try and just never made it to, and that is Morimoto Asia, right behind us there across the water. Excited to finally give it a try.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I've actually already previewed the menu and read over it a little bit, and I still have no idea what I'm gonna get because everything sounded that good.
A lot of good looking options. I've heard good things. Excited to try it tonight. Let's go get some food.
Let's go eat.
We've made it to our table here at Morimoto Asia and just checking out the menu here. Over on the left side, some sushi options. They have some kind of some sushi combos, which basically could be a whole meal worth of sushi. And then down here, some sushi rolls. In the middle, some small plates and dim sum. So everything from egg drop soup to a couple different dumplings and shumai. And for the entrees, there's an orange chicken, the Morimoto spare ribs, which I've known for a while as kind of their thing. Kind of what put this restaurant kind of on the map as well. Really famous ribs, and then they do the Morimoto Peking duck for two. Over on the noodle and rice side, we've got duck ramen, which sounds so interesting and delicious. A couple of different kinds of ramen, the beef lo mein. And then this Morimoto Brewerybop, which was highly recommended by our waiter, which sounds really interesting. The yellowtail actually cooks on the table. Not really sure the process there, but it sounds really interesting, and I might just have to try that. And then some vegetable options as well. Some wok sauteed Chinese vegetables. The Kung Pao cauliflower sounds really interesting. So a lot to choose from here, and you know, for the adventurous and for the non-adventurous, you can just get some orange chicken. First up is the Morimoto spare ribs, and these are pork ribs with cilantro and hoisin sweet chili glaze. And we got the appetizer size, which is 3 ribs for $16.
So up first are these pork ribs, and our waiter highly recommended them and told us that they were cooked for 6 hours, so like super, tender. So I really thought they were gonna be like the fall off the bone when you picked it up, but I'm pleasantly surprised that it's got a beautiful crisp on it. You can definitely see that it's locking in all that moisture. I'm really excited to give these a try. So I absolutely love the flavor that's coming through on these ribs. Very, very, very tender meat. I really like the flavor of the soy sauce, the glaze on the outside. Definitely holds that moisture into the meat, as well as offering a nice tangy and sweet glaze on the outside. It's not spicy at all, and it definitely has that nice, authentic, Asian flavors that are coming through on it. So far, this is an awesome start here at Morimoto.
Up next, we got the BBQ Eel and Avocado Sushi Roll for $16. So next I'm going to try this sushi. It is actually a barbecue eel and avocado roll. And so it's grilled barbecued eel, and it's got some sauce on top. I don't know if that's like a barbecue sauce or not, but we're going to try it and find out. That's a pretty good sushi roll. I was expecting the eel because it was grilled. I don't know, I expected it to be a little bit crispier than what it is. It's very, very creamy. Everything inside of the roll is really creamy, which is nice. But I kind of like having that difference in texture and having something that maybe has a little bit of crunch or a little snap to it. Overall, the flavors, delicious. The eel tastes really fresh and delicious. I think I would just prefer for it to be a little bit more, maybe crispy, cooked a little crispy. But other than that, delicious sushi. Based on a recommendation from our server, we ended up with the Morimoto Brewerybop, and this is a Korean-style yellowtail rice bowl served in a hot clay pot finished with an egg yolk, and this was $36.
So I'm not usually one to order fish off a menu, but it was so highly recommended we really couldn't pass it up, and the fact that it was partly prepared tableside was kind of a selling point for me. I'm excited to give this one a try. At first glance, the fish itself is a nice thinner cut. I'm hoping it's not super fishy flavored. I'm not really big on that. You can see it's a real nice white fish though. It seemed very flaky when I went to cut it, so that's a good sign that we'll see how it is. So I am not a fish person. There's only a few select white fishes that I actually enjoy, and I'm gonna say very confidently that this is gonna be one of my new favorite dishes, and I'm gonna want to crave that and come back here. The fish itself, it's a very light flavor, not overwhelmingly fishy. It has a really nice flavor. Whatever the soy and sesame and all the other flavors of seasonings that they poured on top of this did a very good job flavoring the entire dish. The rice itself has a really good flavor. I like the way it's all held together. There's so many flavors coming out of this dish, and I'm really excited that we were recommended it and got it.
So I was really intrigued with the idea of this Brewerybop, the whole clay pot with the yellowtail getting cooked on the inside. All of that just seemed really interesting. And then when I actually saw the process happen, I gotta say, the smell of everything coming out of here in each stage as he was mixing it together and mixing the yolk in, and then as soon as the fish itself started to sear, unbelievably delicious, all the aromas coming from here. So excited now to see how all of that translates to how it actually tastes. So let's give it a bite and see. And just like Stephanie said, that fish is unbelievable. So flaky, but yet kind of got that meatier, kind of steaky consistency to it, but the flavor is unbelievable and goes so well with everything else in here. The rice at this point is almost like a fried rice, the way it cooked in the bowl with all the sauces and that egg yolk in there. All of it together creates this really balanced, kind of creamy, meaty fish dish that is so delicious. I will definitely get this again and would highly recommend it. Next, we got the duck ramen, and this is Peking duck broth, egg noodles, duck meat, scallion, cilantro, and soy marinated egg, all for $19. So next I'm gonna try this duck ramen, and I gotta say, I got this bowl sitting in front of me of this just steaming, delicious smelling broth. It smells so good, and there's plenty of chunks of duck in there, and then obviously plenty of ramen noodles. I mean, it's a healthy portion, this dish. Give it a try and see how it is. So first off, the broth itself, very flavorful. It is a Peking duck broth, so it has a really deep, rich flavor. Again, I'm going to say it again, it's kind of got this, the way all this works together, it's very creamy-like, which is just, it's so good. The ramen noodles are perfect. The piece of duck that I just had in that bite, and there's a lot of duck pieces in here, some with skin and some without. It was very flavorful and super tender. And then the scallions on top, all of that, again, works well together. Makes a really hearty dish. I know we don't get cold weather often here in Florida, but I could say right now that once we do get a little bit of a cool down, come in here and getting a bowl of this duck ramen would be the way to go. And also, at $19 for the portion size and at a restaurant like Morimoto filled with as much duck as what's in here, I would say this is a fantastic value too for what you get. Absolutely delicious. So that was our dinner here tonight at Morimoto Asia. What did you think?
I thought it was phenomenal. I really liked pretty much everything we had, starting with the sushi. Little complaints on that. I just wish that it would have been wrapped a little bit tighter. It was kind of difficult to maintain its shape. Other than that, I thought the flavors were good in it. I just would have liked to see a little bit more texture in there with that eel. That noodle dish that I apologize, I'm not remembering the name of it right off the top of my head. The one with the duck.
The ramen.
The ramen.
The duck ramen.
The duck ramen, yes. That had excellent flavors. I thought that was amazing portion size for the $19 that we paid for that. Insane. Certainly something shareable where you can try multiple items. And then that fish dish.
Yes, so delicious.
My goodness. Okay, so I'm not even a fish person, but like I said, but that flavors coming through. That hot pot, because it was up to 500 degrees, by the time when we reviewed it, we really didn't stir up the bottom. There was like seared rice that had gotten that, you know,
crispy bits
with all the flavor. The flavor was hidden down there on the bottom. It was even more flavorful once we really mixed it up a little bit more. We thoroughly enjoyed that, and I'm certainly excited to have that again in the future.
Yeah, I'm so happy that he recommended that. It was so delicious. All the flavors, very fresh and delicious. The ramen, again, I'm gonna say is such a great deal. And oh, the egg in the ramen. I've always been nervous about the eggs in ramen. Some of them are like pickled and they're different things. So I didn't know about it. So I tried it, and it was after we were done recording. It was absolutely delicious. It was like, you know, a hard-boiled egg, but it took on all the flavor of the broth and the ramen, and it was almost like super concentrated.
It was very good.
It was delicious. And at 19 bucks, again, a great value there. I think our entire bill, what was the total? After our pass holder discount.
It was 83 after the pass holder discount.
The 10% pass holder discount. 83 bucks, and we're stuffed.
Yeah, we had a lot of food. And we didn't even mention just now about the pork ribs. Those were amazing.
Unbelievable.
The flavor in those were awesome. I would say that those were probably one of the more pricier items that we ordered in terms of the amount of food that you got. The flavor was fantastic. I'm certainly not going to argue that at all.
Yeah,
just
so
a little bit on the pricey side for that, but it was so flavorful.
Worth it. They're so crispy and so delicious. Man, definitely we will be back here, Morimoto, to try more of the food items on the menu. And if you are a fan of Asian food, absolutely stop by here when you are in Disney Springs. And the environment in there too. It's a little bit I guess a little bit kind of electric and a little bit louder of music than you would expect, but it's a very kind of alive, modern environment, and we really enjoyed it very, very much, and we'll be back. That's gonna do it for us here tonight in Disney Springs. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe below for more like it, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching.